All right, so you've probably seen all the stuff about DeepSeek, this new AI company from China.
Yeah, it's all over the news.
Everyone's talking about them, right? Game changer or just hype?
That's what we're diving into.
Exactly. We've got a whole bunch of articles and research and reports, the whole shebang.
Try and cut through the noise.
Yeah, figure out if this DeepSeek is really the real deal.
What's got me really interested, though, is how they're kind of shaking things up.
Yeah.
Challenging what everyone thought you needed to build, like, really advanced AI.
Right. We're so used to hearing about, like, Google and Microsoft.
These giant companies.
Pouring billions and billions of dollars into AI.
And then DeepSeek comes in, this relatively small company in Hangzhou.
And they're saying, hey, we've built something that's just as good as ChatGPT, maybe even better.
But on a tiny budget, it seems.
Yeah, that's the thing that's blowing everyone's mind, right?
And their founder, Li Wenong, he's this young, ambitious guy, I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
Real geek,
Yeah.
who's totally obsessed with this idea of AGI.
Artificial general intelligence, right?
Yeah, that's the big dream. And he's put together this team, and they've released this language model, R1.
R1, right.
Yeah.
We've seen that name everywhere.
And they've got a bunch of smaller versions, too, like distilled versions.
Wow.
And get this, it's all open source.
Open source. So anyone can just grab it.
Yep. Use it, modify it, the whole 9 yards. Pretty bold move.
Especially in the AI world, where everyone's so secretive. But hold on, didn't the U.S. put those sanctions on advanced AI chips back in 2022?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Those were supposed to limit what China could do with AI, right?
Right, they cut off NVIDIA, the company that makes those super powerful chips.
So how did DeepSeek manage to build all this? They must have some secret stash of chips or something.
There are some rumors about that they stockpiled a bunch before the sanctions hit.
Smart move if they did.
But honestly, even a stockpile wouldn't explain everything.
So what's their secret sauce?
Their whole approach is different. They're laser focused on efficiency, squeezing the most out of every bit of computing power.
And you were saying something about this mixture of experts thing.
Yeah, their MOE architecture, that's a big part of it.
Sounds kind of complicated. Can you explain it like I'm 5?
Okay, imagine you ask an AI, what's the capital of France?
Okay, got it.
A regular AI might go through its entire knowledge base, which takes a ton of time and energy.
Right, like searching your whole house for your keys.
Exactly. But with MOE, it's like having a team of specialists.
Oh, I see.
So for that question, only the geography expert gets activated. Super fast, super efficient.
So it's all about focusing the AI's brain power.
Sure.
Clever. But I've also seen some pretty big names like Elon Musk being skeptical about all this.
Yeah, I mean, some skepticism is healthy, right?
Sure.
Some people are saying DeepSeek might be piggybacking off OpenAI's work on ChatGPT.
Maybe even using their data?
Possibly, but
Yeah.
DeepSeek has put all their research out there, open for anyone to check.
Interesting. It's like they're saying, here, look under the hood. We got nothing to hide.
Yeah, it's a pretty unusual level of transparency for the AI world.
But it also makes you wonder about all those resources that OpenAI and Google have been throwing at this.
Right. If DeepSeek can do this with less, what does that tell us about the whole state of AI development? Maybe we've been going about it the wrong way.
Exactly.
DeepSeek's kind of a wake-up call, showing that efficiency and smart engineering can be just as important as, having billions of dollars.
Especially when you think about the environmental cost of all this computing power. I mean, we've seen reports about Meta needing a whole nuclear power plant just to run their AI.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy, right?
If DeepSeek's method really works, it could be a much greener way to do AI.
Definitely something to think about. It really could shake things up, especially with, all the energy these models use.
Right.
But let's think about DeepSeek's strategy for a second.
Yeah, where are they going with all this?
What's the end game, right? I mean, they're making waves in the research world for sure.
With all the open sourcing and the research papers and all that?
Exactly, but publishing papers doesn't exactly pay the bills.
Right. So what's their business model?
Yeah.
How are they going to make money?
That's the million-dollar question, and they've been a little quiet about it,
Playing their cards close to their chest.
Yeah, but I think there are some hints. This whole open source thing, it makes me think they're not just trying to sell some software.
Right. It's bigger than that.
It's like they're building a platform, almost like an AI ecosystem.
Oh, I see. So they provide the foundation, the tools, and then let others build on top of that.
Exactly. Sort of like a launching pad for all sorts of AI applications.
That's a bold move, though. I mean, they're going up against some seriously heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah. Google, Microsoft, the whole gang.
Can they really compete with those giants?
Well, it's a bit of a David and Goliath situation, no doubt.
Sure.
But DeepSeek's got some things going for them. All that open source stuff, it's created a lot of goodwill in the community.
Right. People like that they're sharing their work.
And they're building up a pretty impressive community of developers and researchers around their models.
Almost like a grassroots movement.
Kind of, yeah. And that community, it could be a real engine for innovation.
More people using their stuff, building new things on top of it.
Exactly. Plus, their focus on efficiency, that could be a major selling point.
Oh, absolutely. Especially for companies that, don't have billions to throw around.
Right, or who are worried about the environmental impact of all this computing.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. DeepSeek's approach could be a lot more sustainable.
Definitely a big plus. And, we shouldn't underestimate the fact that they're from China.
Interesting point.
In a lot of parts of the world, Asia, Africa, there's a huge demand for AI, but maybe some distrust of Western tech companies.
So DeepSeek could tap into that, offer a different perspective.
Right, they're playing to a different set of values, priorities.
Fascinating. But they're still a young company, right? Limited resources compared to the big guys.
Very true. And the AI world moves fast, it's super competitive.
Yeah, they've got to keep innovating, stay ahead of the curve.
And there's a whole geopolitical thing to consider.
Right, U.S.-China tensions,
right.
All that.
Those sanctions on chips, that's a prime example of how politics can mess things up.
DeepSeek's got to walk a fine line, keep everyone happy.
High-stakes game for sure, with the whole future of AI potentially hanging in the balance.
No pressure, right. But hey, let's get back to the tech for a minute. What makes DeepSeek's models actually different?
Well, we talked about that mixture of experts thing before.
The specialist teams within the AI, right?
Right. Well, DeepSeek has actually taken that even further with something called sparse Mo.
Sparse Mo. Okay, now you're just making stuff up. Kidding. But seriously, can you break that down for me?
So think of it this way. With sparse Mo, the AI is even more picky about which experts it uses.
Even more specialized.
Exactly. Instead of activating all the experts all the time, it only calls on the ones that are absolutely essential for a given task.
So it's not just about having a lot of experts. It's about knowing when to use them.
Nailed it. They've got this really clever algorithm that figures out which experts are most likely to be needed.
Sounds complicated.
It is, but the result is a model that's smaller, more efficient, and a lot more adaptable.
So faster processing, less energy, and they can run on less powerful hardware. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, and this efficiency means they can train their models faster, too, with less data.
Oh, wow. So they're saving time and resources all over the place.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, if one expert fails or gets outdated, the others can pick up the slack.
Built-in redundancy.
Exactly. It's like a self-healing system. And you remember how we were talking about transparency?
Yeah.
Well, this sparse Mo thing, it actually makes their models more transparent, too. You can kind of peek inside and see how they're making decisions.
So we can understand the AI's reasoning.
To some extent, yeah. It's really important for building trust and making sure these models are doing what we want them to do.
Okay, so DeepSeek is really shaking things up, huh?
Yeah, they're challenging the status quo, showing that there's more than one way to build powerful AI.
And that sometimes the best ideas come from the most unexpected places.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about their tech and their strategy and all that, but there's this whole other side to this, right?
Yeah, we can't ignore the geopolitical stuff. Especially with all the, tension between the U.S. and China these days.
It's like this backdrop to everything. And some people are saying DeepSeek's success is a sign that, China's catching up in the AI race.
Right, and that's making some people in the U.S. nervous.
Some are even calling it a threat, like to U.S. dominance in tech.
There's definitely some concern in Washington about China using AI for, economic or even military advantage.
Right. And some people are looking at DeepSeek's open source approach kind of suspiciously.
Like maybe it's a trick to get access to U.S. technology or something.
Yeah, it's not just about the tech itself. It's about power.
It's almost like AI is the new battleground in the U.S.-China rivalry.
Exactly. But some experts are saying that, maybe DeepSeek could actually be a good thing.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, they're saying that competition can be good for innovation.
Right. It forces everyone to step up their game.
Like DeepSeek's pushing the big companies to try harder, maybe even come up with completely new ideas.
So it's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe instead of seeing DeepSeek as a threat, we should see them as, like, a catalyst for progress.
Right. Pushing a whole field of AI forward.
And that open source approach, maybe that could lead to more collaboration, more sharing of knowledge.
Yeah, instead of everyone hoarding their secrets.
So we could see faster advancements, and the benefits of AI could spread more widely.
It's a more optimistic way to look at it, for sure.
It paints a picture of a more diverse, vibrant AI ecosystem.
One where everyone's contributing, everyone's benefiting.
Of course, it's probably not that simple, right?
No, it's never black and white, especially with geopolitics.
It's going to be a mix of competition and collaboration, for sure.
And DeepSeek's right in the middle of it all.
They've definitely shaken things up.
Yeah, no one can ignore them now. They're a major player.
And it kind of shows that the future of AI, it's not set in stone.
It's being shaped right now.
By the choices we make, the technologies we develop, the partnerships we form.
And that brings us back to you, the listener.
Why should you care about all this? Why does any of this matter?
Because AI is changing everything.
It's already changing the way we work, how we learn, how we connect with each other.
And it's only going to get more powerful, more pervasive.
So understanding what's driving its development, that's crucial.
It's about being informed, being engaged, making sure your voice is heard.
DeepSeek has shown us that the future of AI, it's full of possibilities.
And a lot of uncertainty, too.
But it's a future that we're all creating together.
One algorithm at a time.
So we got to be thoughtful about it, right?
Consider the ethical implications, the social impact.
Make sure we're building an AI future that benefits everyone.
Exactly.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into DeepSeek.
We hope you found it insightful.
And that has given you some food for thought.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay engaged in the conversation about AI.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.